Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage, a charming family sitcom that's been making waves, reached a delightful milestone in its first season with episode 14. The episode, titled Brought Meemaw and Wayne, back for a silly story that worked perfectly, continues the show's signature blend of heartwarming moments and laugh-out-loud humor. This episode does more than just showcase the trials and tribulations of Georgie and Mandy's new marriage. It beautifully weaves in the dynamics of the extended family, introducing new layers of humor, nostalgia, and complexity. A fresh take on family dynamics. From the very first scene, it's clear that episode 14 is going to be a delightful roller coaster. Georgie and Mandy are a couple we've come to know and love, navigating the rocky yet often hilarious terrain of their first year of marriage. Their relationship has been a central point of the show, and their journey together has been marked by growth, miscommunication, and the occasional over-the-top situation. However, this particular episode shifts the focus just a bit to allow for the return of two beloved characters, Meemaw and Wayne. Meemaw, Georgie's grandma, has always been a fan favorite. Her no-nonsense attitude, paired with her wit and mischievous humor, provides some of the sharpest, most memorable moments in the series. Her relationship with Georgie has always been a key source of both comedy and tenderness. Wayne, on the other hand, is the quirky uncle with a heart of gold. He often serves as the comedic foil to Georgie's serious moments, and his interactions with the family always bring an added layer of absurdity. The return of Meemaw and Wayne. The inclusion of Meemaw and Wayne in episode 14 felt like a nostalgic gift to the audience, bringing back the characters who were once pillars in the earlier seasons. Their return is cleverly integrated into the storyline, and it doesn't feel forced. Georgie and Mandy are struggling with an important decision about their future, and it's in these moments of uncertainty that they seek guidance from their families. Georgie, in his typically sarcastic way, turns to Meemaw for advice, knowing full well that her wisdom is often wrapped in sharp, biting humor. Meemaw's response is a hilarious mix of bluntness and unfiltered truths, making it clear that she doesn't hold back when it comes to matters of the heart. However, what makes this scene even more delightful is Wayne's unpredictable antics. While Georgie and Mandy are deep in conversation with Meemaw, Wayne enters the scene with his usual flair, providing the comic relief needed to diffuse the tension. Wayne's bizarre and often nonsensical advice about marriage is the perfect contrast to Meemaw's more grounded approach. He delivers a series of outlandish stories from his own life that are so absurd they become endearing. Wayne's ability to turn a simple moment into a ridiculous tale adds layers of fun to the episode, keeping the tone lighthearted despite the serious undertones of the conversation. A silly story that worked perfectly. The heart of episode 14 lies in the unexpected turn the plot takes. The premise of the episode seems simple enough. Georgie and Mandy's marriage is going through a rough patch, and they seek advice from their elders. But it's the way the story unfolds, with Meemaw and Wayne's involvement, that makes this episode stand out. The silly story in question is one of Wayne's signature absurd anecdotes, which he shares with Georgie and Mandy to lighten the mood. The story begins innocently enough, with Wayne recounting a bizarre situation in which he found himself stuck in a tree during a camping trip. As the tale unravels, it becomes increasingly ridiculous, with Wayne's exaggerated storytelling making the situation even more ludicrous. The ridiculousness of it all is what makes it so perfect. It's a reminder that sometimes the most silly, over-the-top stories are exactly what we need to take the edge off of life's more serious moments. The humor in Wayne's story isn't just in the absurdity of the plot, but in the way he tells it. His exaggerated facial expressions, quirky delivery, and the outrageousness of the situation draw the audience in. What makes it work so well in this context is that it is exactly what Georgie and Mandy needed that moment. A reminder that marriage, like life, doesn't always have to be so serious. Sometimes it's okay to laugh, be silly, and take a break from trying to have everything figured out. The bigger picture, relationships and growth. While the episode's humor and silly story are at the forefront, the underlying message about relationships and growth is evident throughout. Georgie and Mandy's marriage, though still in its early stages, is already filled with challenges. And this episode subtly reminds viewers that no relationship is perfect. It's not just about the big, life-changing decisions. It's also about navigating the small,